becomes more and more important. And that's for every guy here. We got to do it better. Our goal is to have the kind of team that nobody wants to play. And that means that we have to impose our will to dominate the competition all the time. It's all about what does it take to break you.
Welcome to Nick Saban Jr. Sports TV. Thank y'all for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Alabama versus Kentucky. Preview and prediction. This game will be played on ESPN at 12 o'clock Eastern Time, Saturday, 11 o'clock Central Time in Lexington, Kentucky. Alabama coming into this game with an 85.8% chance of winning. Kentucky has a 14.2% chance of winning. The season leaders for both teams, Jalen Miro, Devin Leary, Jess McClellan, Ray Davis, Jermaine Burton, and T. Robinson for Kentucky, wide receiver. So, for Alabama been counted out this year. We've been counted out bad. After the Texas loss, oh my God, the fan base went crazy, the nation went crazy, said we can do it. And we didn't even make it any better when we come out against South Florida and we struggle to win. Jalen Miro don't even get to start. So it was a lot of stuff going on. The fan base, to me, I feel like the fan base divided. But we've been struggling winning, but I've been noticing we're getting better. Last week against LSU was big time. We held the number one offense to only 28 points. 28 points. That game, Alabama offense came alive. Jalen Miro went crazy. He rushed for 4 touchdowns. He went crazy. So, we win this game. We clinched the West. We clinched the West with this win. For Kentucky doing good for Kentucky, I would say. This is just my opinion. I don't know what their fan base expectations were, but for some reason, I had high expectations. And with me saying that, they're only 6-3. That's pretty daggone good for Kentucky. I thought Devin Leary was going to provide more to this team this year. As a football fan, I'm kind of disappointed that he's not providing more. I don't know how Kentucky feels about it, but I just expected more from Devin Leary. Ray Davis. What Ray Davis is doing so far, coming from Vanderbilt, I expected it. I know it's Ray Davis at Vanderbilt. I said I wonder why he was at Vanderbilt, because he clearly can play for top schools, Alabama, Georgia. He can play for those teams. He's that type of running back. But Ray Davis has been doing great. Let's get into it. Like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what y'all think about this game in the comments. But Alabama versus Kentucky. I want to get into Alabama offense versus Kentucky defense. Kentucky defense, they're giving up 23 points per game allowed. It's top 40. That's solid. That is solid. Won't beat great teams, but they can sneak by good teams. But that's solid. Against the run, 3.5 yards per carry. That's top 20. Solid. Kentucky has a nice defensive line. Nice front seven. They're pretty good. They're physical. They get after it. So my question is, can Alabama run the ball? I think so, but don't know. That's remaining to be seen. Can we run the ball? I think so. One thing I want to look for too is Alabama passing game against Kentucky secondary. Why do I bring this up? Kentucky secondary they don't really give up a big play at all. They only give up 6.9 yards per carry. 42 in the country. That's decent. But they do give up 66% completion percentage. That's 123rd in the country. So Alabama loves the deep ball. Alabama, we run the ball effective enough for you to be honest to the run. But Kentucky completion percentage overall is 123rd in the country. So for me, can Tommy Rees draw up plays to get the wide receivers open, not for the big play, but in completions, and put the ball in the athlete's hands and let the athlete make plays? So I'm not saying, I'm saying we ain't got to kill him with the big plays. Let's hit him on underneath routes. He showed pretty good touch on some plays. Yes, he missed the pass to Isaiah Bond, but let's go back to the touch play to Jam Miller, to Jason McClellan, when he just placed it over their heads, over Harold Perkins' head, and placed it in Jason McClellan's hands. So let's do short passes. Let's work the short pass game. Let's see how much he can grow up in the short pass completion. Let's go back to the slants. We seen Jermaine Burton. We seen slants this game. Let's put the ball in the playmaker's hands like Isaiah Bond, Jermaine Burton. Let's put the ball in Kendrick Law hands and let them get yards after catch. Because running the ball effective enough and plays like that makes you bring up safeties. What happens when you bring up safeties? Jalen Miro can do what he do best. Deep ball galore. But deep ball might not need to be necessarily game plan. Run the ball effective enough against this defense, which I think we can do. Short immediate routes, put the ball in the playmaker hands, yards at the catch. It's kind of simple. Kind of simple. But the next thing is Kentucky offense versus Alabama defense. Alabama defense, we're giving up like 17 points per game. That's top 20. Kentucky, their strength is run the ball. Their strength is Ray Davis. Can Ray Davis run the ball against this Alabama defense? That's a tough task to ask. Alabama defense, they front seven be getting after it. Justin the boy beat Tim Key and Jermaine Ombliss. Them boys getting after it. They playing football. Chris Braswell, Dallas Turner, Lawson, Campbell, Marshall, they getting after it. Can they run the ball? If they can't run the ball, provide a run game, it's going to be a long day because that's their strength. And LSU secondary, to me, it's not that hot. They don't give up big plays. They don't give up big plays at all. Like I say, I mean, they don't give up, my bad about that. I'm talking about Alabama, but can they run the ball? Because if they can't run the ball, they don't want to depend on Devin Leary having to sit back there and try to make something happen in the pass game. Leary is only completing 57% of his balls. He missed on passes that is crucial. He misses on passes that can possibly affect drives. So, the Kentucky depending on Devin Leary to sit back there and beat you in the pass game, I don't think that's the game they want to play. In order for them to beat Bama, he's going to have to hit passes that he's not normally making. But they need to be able to run the ball effectively, and that's going to be a tough task to do. If they're one-dimensional and you're putting the game in Devin Leary's hands, it's not good a sight. Alabama secondary plays lights out. Kool-Aid McKinstry is a first rounder. Terry Young Arnold, potential first rounder. Caleb Downs, potential first rounder. Malachi Moore, first day, second day guy. That defense is lights out. Yes, I know we got a little banged up last game. But listen, it's dudes behind them. So, Kentucky needs to provide a run game to help sort of open up the pass. Because what happens when you get running downhill? You're going to need to allocate extra resources. Alabama is good at stopping the run. We haven't had to allocate extra resources. The only game, if the only thing you can do is run the ball, allocating extra resources is not going to be good. But if they can run the ball and we have to allocate extra resources, it's open up. But I feel like we can play man against the wide receivers and get after it. So what I'm saying basically, the best thing for Kentucky is run the ball. Run the ball, and hopefully it'll open up other stuff. Kentucky, I don't see them having a real big shot, but hey, any given Sunday. The spread on the game is 10.5. I got Alabama to cover easily. I think this be like a 38, maybe 17 game. Maybe get in the 40s. I don't think Kentucky scores over 20 points. I don't think they score over 20 points. 17 at the most. But I got Alabama rolling big time. We clinched the SEC West. Finished the season out strong against Chattanooga and Auburn. Head to the SEC Championship in Atlanta. And get ready for football. But we're going to focus on Kentucky. I think we cover. Thank y'all for tuning in. Alabama football is the reason why I love college football. Salute, peace, and I'm out.